Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. The Greens always like to show that they are the nice party. They are the considerate and wonderfully good party. They are so virtuous because look at us. We care about the planet. We are the best. We don't engage in all those seedy little things that all the other parties do. Except, of course, that they absolutely do, and they've been caught doing it. Who would have thought Geoffrey and the imp are no more than, well, political whoring themselves, really, because they're offering lunches with MPs and MSPs of the Greens, and all you have to do is pay the party lots and lots of lovely cash. They prefer cash. That way, there's no audit trail. They can just put a little bit in and call it a donation, and nobody knows, do they? Because they're underhanded, sneaky, and sleek it, like every other party out there. The truth is inimical to their very existence. They don't like the truth because the truth, like with the SNP particularly, is so very, very damaging. And yet now here they are at the centre of yet another cash for access scandal. It happens every few years. They don't like getting caught, do they? And yet they're always caught. You wonder why they do it. It happens every time. Every party, they eventually get caught because it's so easy to catch them out, and journalists do it all the time. But anyway, they were offering big, cosy lunches or evening meals and all sorts of things with, at the time, government ministers, because obviously there was a couple of ministers that were in the Greens, and with MSPs and things, and they were charging, depending on the level you wanted, saying anywhere from several £100s to thousands of pounds, and it makes you wonder what several £1,000s will buy, in terms of political clout. Although with the Greens, not much is it? It's not going to buy very much. But they are there. They are corrupt. They are selling their very souls because they are so desperately in need of money. Because to be honest, the Scottish Greens don't have a lot of money. And it's not surprising because the sort of people who support the Greens, well, they're not very bright, so they don't tend to be in the higher echelons of work, do they? Because, they are all nutters, and most people don't believe in their policies, about men pretending to be women being women, which is clearly monstrously wrong, as we can tell by, having a brain. But there are laws against this sort of thing. Lobbying is not exactly illegal. You can go and lobby, that's fine. But offering bribes for lobbying or taking money for things like this is illegal. Now, you can have, at a time, you can have fundraisers. You can go and hire a restaurant and say, we're selling these plates. It's called, a plate lunch. And it's £500 a plate sort of thing. So you go along, you pay your £500, and then various people will turn up and you can access them that way. That's perfectly legal because it's an open forum and it's well in advance and it's designed and called exactly what it is, fundraising. But when that money is going backwards through a locked door, behind doors, and it's not open and it's blatantly corrupt, then that is not so that's not so legal. I believe it's the 2016 Lobbying Act Scotland or something. It's called something like that. Top of my head, I'm not a legal eagle. Perhaps someone will check that for me. But that actually makes this sort of thing absolutely illegal. And so they're not just breaking Holyrood rules by doing this as MSPs. They're actually breaking the law doing this. And I do hope that they're fully investigated and prosecuted. I'd love to see Harvey in jail, but even more so, Geoffrey, assuming they could get a jail tall enough for her. But they've both been caught red-handed. They've both been found wanting when it comes to truth, openness, and honesty. But come on, are you surprised? Is anyone surprised? Certainly I'm not. They're both finished. We know that Geoffrey particularly is desperate to stay in power, but she'll be gone. She will be out, and that will come to fruition on the next conference. I think it's April. So the next conference, there'll be a vote, and Jeffrey and the Imp will be gone. And then you're going to have to new leaders. And the worst of this is bad. And boy, are they bad. Bad as Lorna Slater is, she's going to be replaced by the maggot, Maggie Chapman. And what her views are on children are despicable. She really wants to sexualise children from a very young age. And you wonder what goes on. There's something broken, I think, inside Maggot Chapman. Something dangerously broken. Her views on the sexualisation of children are abhorrent. This woman should not be anywhere in politics, let alone leading a party. If she's leading a party, you have to wonder about the members of that party. That's how bad that is. And of course, you have the Imp, Patrick Harvey. He also is likely to go. Unfortunately, bad as he is, he's going to be replaced by the fetus, of course. And can you imagine anything worse than Ross Greer stamping his tiny, tiny little feet because people just don't accept that he's got any authority? No, listen to me. No, you must listen to me. No, Ross, we don't. We don't have to do anything. You're a nothing burger. You are literally a hollow man filled with bile and bigotry and hate. There is nothing redemptive, I think, about Ross Greer. But that's who's going to be leading the Greens come next April. Maggot Chapman and Ross Greer. And honestly, can you think of a worse pair? If the Greens think they're in trouble now, imagine how bad it's going to be in April and going forward. And then they're going to have to go into an election. Well, actually, two sets of elections, isn't it? They're going to have to go into the first of all, the council elections, and then, of course, 2026 Holyrood elections, with Maggot Chapman and the fetus running the Greens. I don't think the Greens are going to do particularly well, do you? It is pretty bad. But you have to wonder if they'll try and be more transparent. Harvey seemed to think so. He said some time ago that they need to have more transparency in politics, he says, as he shuts the door, opens his case, and puts lots of lovely cash in it. And shh, don't tell anyone. We'll filter it in small pieces so that we don't have to declare it. Because undoubtedly that's also what's happened. Allegedly, cover myself. Anyway, let me know what you think. Are they a dirty bunch of corrupt twats? Or are things going to get better when you get a child abuser and a fetus running the Greens? Till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.